Welcome back to another episode at Consciously Evolving Enterprises. As always, I'm your host, Mr. Ryan Dillon Brasington, and these stories are based on true events and true stories and are also unscripted, so please forgive any mistakes or mispronunciation. Uh, also, guys, just to let you know as well, I always get a little bit nervous before doing any recording. Sometimes I pace back and forth. I'm trying to picture the story in my head before I tell it. So, yes, I love telling stories. Does it come naturally? Sometimes, sometimes not so much. I do like putting on the accents. I do like being very dramatic, but knowing the audience type, I'm just going to keep that to a minimum at the moment as well. But please, in future recordings, please keep an ear out for the different tones, voices, and accents I do like to put on. This story today I want to tell you guys is one pretty recent one, I guess you could say. The story is of a night out. Well, I guess I could just start there. It's a pretty good start. Me and Mel had been dating for some time. Going over each other's places, hanging out, going out for dinner, having dinner, meeting her friends. It was quite nice. Everything was going pretty steady. On this night, we had actually planned to go out into the city. We'd hired a hotel room. Not only that, we'd planned, to kind of do the route, the pub crawl. The route through all the pubs. We chose about 3 or 4 pubs to go and visit. So the night was going quite well. We started a few drinks at the hotel. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not a massive drinker, so I do feel the effects of alcohol quite easily. So we started at the hotel. We got to the first pub. We had a few drinks there. Quite nice surroundings, nice ambience. What else can I say? It was quite nice. Had a few drinks there, and the night's going well. We decided to go on to the second place, and we travelled there. Went for a walk, laughing and giggling on our way. The night itself, the town, getting quite busy. Big hustle and bustle. Everyone's starting to pass each other and that. You got your glow stores starting to sell their little glow balls. So I ended up buying some of those just for shits and giggles, as you do. So then we got to the next club, glow balls in our pocket. We had a few drinks at that establishment as well. And we decided, we're all getting pretty merry at this point. Is it worth going to a third one and a fourth? So I believe we're now at the third establishment. And we're all feeling pretty merry. We've got the glow sticks, having a bit of fun. We order a couple of pies from that place, and we're soaking the ambience in, and we have a look around, and there's a lovely little pub that we're in. There's a guy over there on the piano, literally playing Piano Man by Elton John. So we had a giggle at that. There's other young couples around that are also having a great night, sharing their cocktails. There's a young couple in front of us that you can see their drama's starting to develop. So we're people watching at this point, and all looking around and, we're thinking, yeah, all right, the night's getting to that point where, yeah, we probably should be heading back to the hotel after this one. So we finish up our drinks. We leave that establishment and they're literally like locking the door behind us. And you think, all right, no worries. And step outside, there's still hustle and bustle outside. There's still heaps of people going past. Anyway, me and Mel linked arms and we're walking down the street, and her friend and her husband had been with us all night, if I hadn't mentioned that, hanging out. And they're about 2 steps behind us. They're also linked arms, walking down the street, laughing and giggling. And the crowd coming towards us, out of nowhere, this little fella, must have been about 18 or 19, he pops out of nowhere and he comes running from through the crowd. At this point, I've actually stepped away to spark up a cigarette. Now, talk about a second's choice. I literally stepped away to catch the wind to spark up the cigarette. So, unlinked with arms with Mel, sparked up the ciggy. As I've sparked up the ciggy, I've kind of glanced up, seen this guy come running straight up to Mel, and he's got a glow stick in his hand. Now, this glow stick wasn't one of your little ones, it was one of the large rod ones that's flashing all different colours. Now, he runs straight up to Mel, he stops dead in front of her. He holds the glow stick in front of him like it's a penis, gives it a rub, and he goes, "Oh, you're cute," and starts laughing, rubbing this glow stick. And I've looked over at him and I've gone, "Oh my God, man, are you kidding me?" And the rage started in my feet and I felt it start to clench up and I've, "Oh my God, are you kidding me?" And then almost in slow motion as this has happened, I've looked at him and then I've looked across and to the audience that is now standing in front of us and kind of still making their way towards us is this very large African American guy. It's the best way to describe it. He's like, he seems 10 foot tall. He's probably about 7. He's built like he's a backliner for some gridiron team. Slow motion. I looked at the guy rubbing the glow stick, doing this to me girlfriend, who I'm gonna ask officially to be my girlfriend tonight. Doing this in front of her, and oh my God! I look over, I see this big guy. He's looking straight at me, this big fella, and I'm thinking, okay. Split second decision. He's looking at me, watching me watch this little fella do this to me missus. What's my choice right now? And I went, all right, I can clench my fist and I can go straight for this little guy and I can punch him, but I know this big guy is there to protect him. He's the big dog here, this big fella. He's the one, that the instigator. He's the one that's told him to go and do this. So I look at the big fella, then I look back at the little guy, and then I've clenched my fist and I thought, well, I'm going to have to go for the big guy straight up. And then just almost in that slow motion split second decision, the little fella jumps away, runs off to another person, starts doing the same thing, laughing and giggling. And I've looked at Mel and she's kind of stunned and she's just 2 steps back and I'm still holding a cigarette and the lighter going, oh my God, I think, whoa. Did he really just happen? And the big fella's still, he's now walked past me and he's still glaring at me and I'm looking at him going, yeah, I know your plan. I know exactly what your plan was. His plan was to make me punch this little fella so then he could obviously get in a fight with me, showing off in front of his mates. I'm here with me missus on a night out that's meant to be a great night where I'm actually going to propose to her to be my girlfriend, not my wife, but... and this has happened just out of a split second decision. And I'm here now going, what do I do? All right, what do I do? I can obviously fight or I can flight. And my choice was to freeze. I froze in that second. Luckily, I did. It wasn't a negative outcome. It moved on quite quickly. If I did have the impulse to fight, that big fella or the little guy, I can only imagine it would have ended up in a very negative result. And nobody would have enjoyed the rest of the night from there on. But we did. We moved on. We went back to the hotel night. I then, what we call, proposed to my girlfriend on the balcony in front of her 2 very best friends, or her best friend and the best friend's husband, where I asked her to officially be my girlfriend. It was quite a great night after that. Unfortunately, that relationship didn't work out, but these things do happen, and it turns out it's a great story to tell. So, ladies and gentlemen, please like, subscribe, do whatever you kids do these days. Thank you.